This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
First at 11. So far, it's been rain today, but that's about to change in the next few hours. Good evening at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Let's get right to Kevin, helping you prepare for what's ahead. Kevin.
And it's starting to turn into a cold rain. We're at 41 now. The wind out of the northwest will continue to deliver colder temperatures. Our peak rain time here in the next couple of hours. Then we'll go back up in the morning, but mixing with snow at that point. Notice I've got rain and snow chances. Here are your light rain showers in the western half of the state. They'll continue to move to the east, and then followed by the colder air. Snow showers will move into central Indiana. 1 o'clock in the morning, we begin to see a little wintry mix, and then as we wake up tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., you can see a rain-snow combination that continues to drop into central Indiana through the morning. I'll finish your Saturday timeline, let you know the quick changes that kind of turn course here for the second half of the weekend coming up.
Police say a subway worker is in critical condition after she tried to stop a robbery. Investigators say the suspect went into the subway on 38th Street near Post Road just after 6:30 tonight. The employee struggled with the robber and the gun went off, striking her. Police have not released any suspect information. Police say a man turned the tables during an attempted robbery at a gas station on the west side tonight. Investigators say the robbery victim shot the robbery suspect at the Marathon on 34th Street near Muller Road around 9:30 tonight. The man who was shot is in critical condition.
The city of Indianapolis saw 152 homicides in 2019, many of them on the city's east side. Now in 2020, the fight to combat that violence continues as the Neighborhood Watch Group 10-Point Coalition focuses on a new patrol area on the far east side. The group's leader, Reverend Charles Harrison, spoke with RTV6's Cameron Riddle about their new goals in 2020.
The 10-Point Coalition is starting off the new year with a new mission, and that new mission is a new neighborhood to patrol.
We're going to, expand to another area on the far east side. Last year, we got calls from neighborhoods all over the far east side about us coming in to help.
Reverend Charles Harrison says 10-Point is now answering those calls for assistance on the other side of Midhofer Road. The faith-based Neighborhood Watch Group will now patrol the neighborhood between 38th and 42nd Street and east toward German Church Road. Harrison says his organization is leaving the neighborhoods along Post Road in part due to infighting with other organizations hoping to leave their own positive mark on the far east side.
One of the challenges is that when you have turf battles, that makes it difficult because the key is everybody working together. The quarterback is the quarterback. The wide receivers are the wide receivers. The running back is the running back. And everybody has to do their part if the team is going to be successful.
Harrison says the challenges facing 10-Point's new patrol area will sound familiar, but notes the area east of Midhofer Road is home to fewer community groups and just as much crime.
High number of aggravated assaults, high number of shootings, and certainly homicides in this area.
Harrison says 10-Point plans to patrol its new area for the next 6 months. In the meantime, he's hoping to curb violence and increase collaboration with nearby community groups.
Instead of seeing each other as competitors, we all do different things. We all bring our strengths to the table, and I think it takes everybody.
Working for you on the east side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Nearly 3,000 American troops are headed to the Middle East as Iran vows to retaliate in response to a U.S. airstrike in Iraq. That attack killed an Iranian general. President Trump says he ordered the strike to save American lives and that the decision was meant to stop a war, not start one.
We are a peace-loving nation, and my administration remains firmly committed to establishing peace and harmony among the nations in the world. We do not seek war. We do not seek nation building. We do not seek regime change. But as president, I will never hesitate to defend the safety of the American people.
Iraqi officials and Iranian-backed militias in Iraq are reporting a second deadly airstrike. An Iraqi government official says it hit 2 vehicles north of Baghdad. An American official is denying the U.S. was behind that reported attack.
PD and Fishers Police plan to speak publicly on Monday about 3 people accused in a 7-day crime spree with 18 victims. Today, the Marion County prosecutor announced several charges against Richard Garrett, DeLance Hatcher, and Rosh Hashanah Faro. The alleged crimes happened in mid-October and include shootings, robberies, and murder. Prosecutor Ryan Mears says some of the alleged attacks were targeted, but not all of them.
Unfortunately, sometimes it was just completely random acts where they just targeted random people. I think the one thing that you saw, there was a lot of times where violence was used where it didn't have to occur. And I think that's one of the things that stands out to us.
2 of the suspects might sound familiar. Faro and Garrett are also charged in connection to the death of a Fishers canine in November.
A state law requires people selling catalytic converters to show proof of ownership, but that is not stopping thieves. Cutter's Lawn and Landscape says someone broke into its lot this week and sawed the catalytic converters off of 2 trucks. Local auto shops tell us that part is targeted for the platinum inside, which is usually worth a couple of $100s, but the cost to replace a catalytic converter can cost thousands.
The biggest thing is why. You know, there's not enough money in them to go pay your rent. There's not enough money to do anything. We're just a small company, you know. Why?
To help protect your vehicle, experts recommend parking in well-lit areas and adding motion sensor security systems.
Many of you have reached out to RTV6 wanting to know why so many street lights are out along the interstate, specifically on I-65 inside the I-465 loop. We took your concerns to the Indiana Department of Transportation. A spokesperson tells us INDOT checks lights every month and submits work orders to a contractor. She says she is instructing crews to check the status of the specific spots we found, like I-65 at the Lafayette Road exit and I-465 at East Street.
A major retailer in Washington Square Mall will close up shop on Sunday. We told you earlier this week, Dick's Sporting Goods has posted a sign inside the store telling customers it's closing on the 5th. And RTV6 has learned Burlington is also set to close this month. These closures come several months after a new company took control of that site. And this weekend is your last chance to enjoy a couple of holiday attractions. Lights at the Brickyard at Indianapolis Motor Speedway and Winter Lights at Newfields both wrap up for the season on Sunday. Tickets are required for both.
Our mission ultimately is to make Indiana a more welcoming place for all people.
New and next, why a small Indiana town with many proud supporters of Pride is being forced to relocate a longtime LGBTQ event.
And from helping a family escape a sewage situation in their west side apartment to safety improvements at a southeast side intersection. When you ask for help, RTV6 gets results.
18-year-old Isaac Oldham was killed in a crash on September 26th at Shelbyville Road and 5 Points Road after police say a drunk driver ran a stop sign. Mary Arnold has lived in the area for more than 40 years and recalls at least 2 other deadly crashes at this intersection.
This is not a well-marked intersection.
Well, we reached out to DPW and they have now installed stop ahead signs in an effort to warn drivers of the 4-way stop. They have also installed additional stop signs on the left side of the roadway across from the existing stop sign on the right side, creating a 4 double stop intersection. DPW says there may be an intersection improvement in the future, such as a roundabout or even a traffic signal, but what's appropriate has not yet been determined.
You step into India Jones and her father Frederick's Maple Creek Village apartment building, you are slapped with an unbearable smell of human waste, and your shoes sink into the sewage-soaked carpet after a massive flooding incident last Saturday in the building's laundry room, and then another massive overflow of raw sewage shooting up from Jones's toilet and bathtub. Jones has taken her complaints to apartment managers numerous times, but feels they are not taking her seriously. They've asked for a temporary unit, but so far, they've been offered no help.
They said today that they was going to transfer us into another apartment. So I really appreciate what y'all did. Y'all coming out and lighting the fire underneath their tails to get the job done.
What he said.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
As you're coming into Spencer, Indiana off Highway 231, this is one of the first things you'll see. A big billboard advertising the Spencer Pride Community Center. It's fitting for a small community that's held a Pride Festival for more than a decade. But that Pride Festival is going to look a lot different than it has in years past because of a special events ordinance recently passed by Owen County. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker shows us how Spencer Pride plans to move forward with help and support from the community.
This is something that's not gonna keep us from thriving.
Months after Spencer Pride had their best Pride Festival to date, with around 5,000 people descending on the town of a little more than 2,000, it's back to the drawing board for Jonathan Ballish and others at Spencer Pride because of the Owen County Board of Commissioners passing a controversial special events ordinance.
We want to have a thriving downtown community. We love our downtown community. We don't want to move to the fairgrounds. We don't want to go to some other private venue elsewhere.
Jonathan tells me for the last 12 years, they've been celebrating Pride here in Spencer, Indiana, with the Owen County Courthouse being the center for their celebration.
We love the visibility specifically for our LGBTQ Pride Festival that comes with being downtown.
But this ordinance now closes off restrooms for Pride goers at the courthouse. Same goes for anyone attending any other kind of large event at the courthouse square. The ordinance could create other issues if Spencer Pride decided to ask for permission to use the courthouse lawn, so Jonathan wants to avoid that headache altogether.
We are going to be reserving multiple streets downtown. We're working with a lot of the different downtown businesses to be more interactive and engaging.
I mean, I feel like this is just going to be the best Spencer Pride ever.
Jamie Sweeney runs Juniper Art Gallery, which is right on the court square. Her support for the Pride Festival can be seen in her storefront window, a sign that dots several other storefronts and doors as well.
That's one of the things that's really exciting to me is I feel like the community has really rallied and come together and said, no, you're not stopping us. We are going forward and we're going to make this happen.
We've gotten a tremendous outpouring of support from individuals. We've got new sponsor interest. We have a lot of new people who said they either didn't know about our festival or knew about it but hadn't come yet.
With all this new interest and support, Jonathan wants everyone to know Spencer Pride 2020 is going to be bigger and better than it's ever been before, allowing the true colors of his community to shine through.
We want to show what our community really is. It's a very welcoming, loving place, and all we need to do is provide the forum, the platform for them to show that, and they absolutely do.
Now, this is the ordinance right here, and we're going to have it posted in the story in the RTV6 app. I reached out to Owen County Board of Commissioners President Jeff Brothers, and he told me the ordinance isn't targeting any group or organization, but put in place to protect the courthouse.
Well, Cornelius, it looks like that you marched around. You visited a lot of people in this area to get their perspective on it. Did you talk to anybody that agreed with the council president?
Well, I was down there 2 times for several hours, and whether it was someone I was talking to on the street, local businesses, or even some people in the courthouse, I couldn't find anyone who thinks this ordinance is a good idea, and I got the feeling it's been a headache for everyone since it was proposed back in August.
All right, we'll see how these organizations adjust to having this new ordinance in place.
We will.
All right, thanks, Cornelius.
Yeah.
Twins born in Carmel will probably have to share a lot when they're growing up, but one thing they will not have to share is a birthday. Twins Jocelyn and Jackson were only born 30 minutes apart, but that 30 minutes makes a big difference because it puts their birthdays on different days and different years. Jocelyn was born at 11:37 p.m. on December 31st, 2019. Her brother Jackson was born at 12:07 a.m. on January 1st, 2020. They were born more than a month early, but luckily they didn't interrupt any New Year's Eve partying.
I knew that I couldn't do anything because last week I was already dilated, so I didn't have any plans. No. Just sitting at home with our youngest. Well, now he's not our youngest anymore, but.
Well, the twins are in the neonatal intensive care unit right now because they were born premature. They are doing great, according to Dad.
They are so adorable, and you can really tell in that picture just how tiny they are with their fingers
they're so little.
Wrapped around the big finger.
Cute. Welcome to the world.
What I love is someday the family's going to get together when the kids are a little older and they'll watch the story, what we're showing right now, right?
Right.
Hi, little guy.
Hey.
And that little girl, the girl and boy, now has 3 brothers.
There you go.
So
happy family.
Well protected.
We've got rain in central Indiana mixing with snow in the western portion of the state with more cold air to follow, which means our Saturday will include a rain-snow mix. Temperature is 41 in Indy, but look what's happening in the western portion of the state. Temperatures are falling. Once they get into the 30s, we won't come back out of the 30s until Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow will be a more typical January day, including a rain-snow mix with temperatures not moving much at all through the day. The wind direction changes on Sunday, and that will change the feel once again. It will be dry for the second half of the weekend. Temperatures going back above average. During the morning hours tomorrow, kind of our peak time for the rain-snow mix. As we get to the afternoon hours, all of that will begin to diminish from west to east across the state. 7 a.m., there's your rain-snow mix. Northern half of the state, still some showers or rain showers in eastern Indiana. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This may, at times, with the wind out of the northwest, change the visibility. The ground should mainly be wet, with temperatures above freezing on the grass, mulch areas. You may see some minor accumulation. Then as we go to 7 o'clock, you can see how it really kind of thins out, and some drier air will begin to return as the temperatures will fall into the 20s by the time we get to Sunday morning. As far as any accumulating snow, you can see ½ an inch or less, and again, that's mainly on grassy surfaces. Temperatures, though, do go below freezing Saturday night into Sunday morning, so we'll need to watch for some slick spots. There are your Saturday temperatures, typical for January. January has our average high of 36, and that's the coldest month of the year. Temperatures tomorrow will feel colder because of the wind, and that will increase in the afternoon, gusting out of the northwest 20 to 25 miles per hour. Different feel on Sunday. We get back to having some sunshine, 44 degrees. The wind will increase, gusting to 30. That draws the warmer air into the state. Temperatures are still above average on Monday. Another rain-snow mix potentially Tuesday. The warmest temperatures reserved for the end of next week. Can't keep cold air in here very long. We got the rain-snow mix Tuesday, dry Wednesday, Thursday night into Friday. Rain becomes likely, but Friday's temperatures at 52 degrees. Pretty good night tonight on the hardwood. You're about to hear all about it.
From RTV6 Sports, this is Hoosier Hoop Hysteria.
Kevin, thanks. We're going to start with one of the area's unbeaten boys teams, 10-0 Bloomington South. Panthers going to another big win tonight. They had 42 points on the board in the first half. Another 40 in the second. Anthony Leal with 3 that time down. He had a big night on the break here with the slam, part of a 17-point performance. They had 5 in double figures. 82-48 by the time it was done. South goes to 11-0. Fishers improved to 12-0 with their win tonight. The only team better than that right now. And a good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Hope your 2020 is off to a good start. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Brad Brown. Dave First will be back with us here next week. Plenty of teams finished the 2019 part of the schedule with some great results, hoping to keep that going into the month of January. Let's start back up in Rovia. We were there on the news at 6. The Bulldogs 8-1 already, taking on Cecina. Got a good look at 6'8" senior Josh Smith from Monrovia on the dribble in the opening minute. Nice handle from the top of the arc. The home team got a big lead early in this one. Jordan Hovia strives, draws contact, gets the and one. Crusaders trying to overcome a slow start on the road. Jaden Barnes with the steal. He'll get the finish as well, but Monrovia's big guy had them on the right track from the very start tonight. Smith hits a 3, and then next time down, another spot, another 3. He had 13 in the opening quarter. Monrovia wins at 47-32. Take you up the road to Mooresville. Pioneers taking on Greenfield. Shots falling all around in this one. Start with GC. Caleb Mundell gets a triple. They were down by 9. Mooresville adding to their lead off the inbound. Dane Stevenson. Pioneers built a big lead, but Greenfield hanging around, though. Some more threes. Dylan Moles, the freshman in the corner, hits the triple, and then it's going to be Gavin Robertson to make it a 1-point game. Mooresville would ultimately get the edge in this one, though. Ty Wright for 3, a 4-point win for the Pioneers. They've won 5 straight games. As the calendar turns, we will be getting into a bunch of mid-season tournaments. Hendricks and Madison County will line it up next week. Some of those teams getting a final tune-up here on Friday night. Let's start at Plainfield. The Quakers taking on Southport. The Cardinals, A.J. Dantzler passes back. Ryan Lazan, 3 from the top is good. The visitors getting on the board with that one. Plainfield Coming back, Mason Naaman fires right back. 3 at the other end. Shooters stepping up all over the place tonight. We're going to see a couple more triples. Southport's got Keon Miller, corner 3, gets it. Back to the other end as this game keeps going. Naaman keeping the hot hand. 3 from the corner. Cardinals get it. 56-43. Plainfield gets the win by 13 at home. Avon and Cathedral with a good one tonight. Irish and the Orioles putting some points on the board in this one. In the paint, Cathedral block. Antonio Lisenby up the court. Jaden Brewer does the rest. Lays it in. Avon get on the board there. Jalen Johnson for Cathedral pulls up. Drops into 3. This game stayed close, and they kept a maddening pace going in this one. Cathedral, by the end of it, a 91-88 winner, one of the highest scoring games in the area all season. Let's get a quick look at the bracket for the Hendricks County boys. All of these games will be at Tri-West. The first round games are on Tuesday. Brownsburg's the favorite. They face the hosts. Danville and Avon will be the other game. Plainfield and Cascade wait for those winners on Saturday, and the Hendricks County finals will be next Saturday night. The Ball State men's team has been a contender in the MAC the past couple seasons. The Cardinals hoping to separate themselves from the pack at some point. Their first conference test tonight went pretty well. Home game, Toledo making the trip to Muncie. BSU built a double-digit lead in the second half. Jerron Coleman drives baseline up and under the layup and the foul. Worthen Arena liking that one. Ishmael El Amin led the scoring for Ball State with 17, 3 of them this time down. Ball State was up by a dozen. Toledo came all the way back and had the lead, but the Cards would find a way back in front. Tajay Teague on the drive all the way for another and one. Cards get a 4-point win when it's done. They're home again on Tuesday against Buffalo. Now IUPUI on the road tonight. Horizon League game up at Milwaukee. The Jags lose by 4. Elijah Goss had a nice game for IUPUI. 19 points and 16 rebounds, but a late surge by the home team put that game away. Plenty of action this weekend. Butler is home tomorrow against Creighton. IU plays at Maryland. Pacers are in Atlanta on Saturday night as well. We'll be back with more of tonight's News at 11 coming up after another break.
For $78.
Anyone see my keys in there?
A facility that takes in dogs that are the hardest to save and find homes for needs help. The Humane Society for Hamilton County is expected to break ground in March on a new state-of-the-art building, but the organization needs to raise additional funds. It's close to meeting the $12 million goal for construction. Donations are also needed to reach a $2 million operating endowment. The impact of the shelter reaches far beyond Hamilton County.
We've saved thousands and thousands of animals from outside Hamilton County. We are an open admission facility and no-kill for Hamilton County, so our doors are never closed to the county's animals. Right now is the time for everybody to come forward and help however they can. Local businesses, individual donors, sponsor kennels, cages. There's all kinds of ways to help.
For more information about donating, you can find a link in this story on our website, theindychannel.com, or the RTV6 app.
I wrote, placed here on my 40th birthday with all due respect, unless you are taking us down to put up a real celebrity.
Coming up, the couple whose picture mysteriously appeared on the wall at St. Elmo reveals their identity and their motive.
That's terribly exciting. That's why we do it.
Mystery solved. The couple who hung their picture on the wall among the rich and famous at St. Elmo has been revealed. Doug and Carol Collins taped the picture up several years ago. They noticed an empty space on a wall near the table where they often were seated, so they took measurements, snuck in the picture, and the rest is history.
So we had 2 outcomes that we wanted from this whole thing. Number 1, we wanted it to last for 1 year. We thought, hey, if we stay on the wall at St. Elmo's for 1 year, that's great. And number 2, we were hoping that we didn't get barred from the restaurant. So those were the 2 goals.
Well, the couple came forward after St. Elmo put out a call on social media, and as promised, the restaurant's vice president of marketing bought the couple drinks and even added a free meal as a bonus.
7 years on the wall.
7 years. Nobody noticed.
No, so maybe I missed it. I wasn't listening close enough. Is it coming down or not?
I hope it stays up.
Yeah,
they're celebrities at this point.
They are celebrities.
7
now.
years and counting.
And counting.
36 tomorrow with snow showers around.
Have a great weekend. Happy Friday.